You call in my life, you break the line, I'm falling for you. You're stuck in my mind, just all the time, I'm falling for you. And tell me your secrets, I will tell you my secrets.
Hey everyone, Catherine here. I'm so glad you guys are joining me today. I am going to be sharing with you a recipe for my salads that I am super obsessed with. It is a deep S salad dressing called sweet and tangy vinaigrette. And we're just going to start our day out by talking about deep S meals. So I am having a fuel cycle week, and this week I'm doing a lot of deep S meals and then E meals. And so I'm learning about deep S meals, and I'm learning a lot about myself in the process as well. So this morning I'm doing a deep S breakfast, and it is a zucchini hash with fried eggs. And the actual recipe calls for 2 tablespoons of butter in the zucchini hash and 2 tablespoons of butter to fry your eggs. And I learned after doing the fuel cycle for the first week that I did it that, oh my goodness, that's way too much fat for me. I know it's healthy fat and I know it's so good for you and all the things, but it ends up making me very nauseous. I cannot handle that much healthy fat, which is really crazy because I can handle French fries, right? Like, so if we can handle all the unhealthy fats, but our body is bucking the healthy fats, there's like a disconnect. So I'm just learning to like pull back a little bit in a lot of the Trim Healthy Mama recipes that call for a ton of oil and good oil, and it's healthy oil. I just have to pull back a little bit. But this recipe is kind of like my new go-to breakfast, and it really only takes about 5 minutes to cut up a whole zucchini, fry it up, and it's kind of like home fries when you're done. And I add a little bit of nutritional yeast to my eggs to make them kind of cheesy. So yeah, it's just kind of my go-to for the morning. My son, my 3-year-old son, absolutely adores this recipe too, which makes me happy. We end up sharing that plate of food because he wants to eat half of it. He loves the zucchini because I know that those healthy fats are also good for him, good for his development, his brain, his skin tissues, and all the things like that. So, but anyways, after we eat breakfast, we're going to be doing a deep S lunch today as well. And that deep S lunch is super simple, and it has been something that my body is craving a lot more frequently, and that is salads. They're super easy to do. They're not really much you can mess up, which is really nice for me. And I found this dressing that makes it just so much more desirable to eat salads, I guess. So I'm going to show you guys how I make my version of this deep S salad dressing. This is not the only one that's available, but this is just the one I have fallen in love with. It's just these few simple recipes, few simple ingredients, sorry. You just put it all in your little blender there. And if you guys don't have a blender like this, you can just use any blender. Like it works for anything, or a hand blender. But my little Ninja thing that I make smoothies in works perfect for this recipe. So I just put all of my ingredients into this little cup here and blend it up. And I'm going to be using apple cider vinegar, olive oil, and some minced garlic. That sweetener that you see right there is actually the super sweet blend from Trim Healthy Mama, but you guys could use whatever stevia blend that you like. It just sweetens it up, hence the sweet and tangy vinaigrette, right? So then I add a little bit of garlic there, some mineral salt, and some pepper. I'll put the full recipe in the description for you guys below. But it's really easy, and it makes quite a bit, especially for me, because like I said a few seconds ago, you guys, I cannot use a ton of the healthy fats on any of my recipes. I'm even so bad about that I can't even eat an entire serving of the avocado that we're allowed to have like during your deep S, like to kind of keep you in your not deep S, avocados are not on deep S, sorry, but on the heavy S. If I have an avocado, I have to do a quarter tops of an avocado. If I do half an avocado, I'm nauseous at my stomach. So I'm just learning some things about myself along the way as well. But anyways, you can see how creamy this gets when you blend it up in the blender. It is beautiful. Like, I love to look at it. And then you just put it in an airtight jar or container of your choice. And the actual recipe says go ahead and store it in your fridge. I did not like the way it worked when I stored it in my fridge, and here's why. Because that olive oil separated and then it just made everything funky, and I couldn't really shake it back up to make it mix back together. So I store mine in my spice cabinet with all of my other stuff that I go to when I'm making recipes all the time. And my spice cabinet, y'all, is a humongous mess. So there it is. Yep, it's mess. I so desire to organize that area, but it's just not something that I have been able to get to. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and make my salad for lunch today. Again, we're doing a deep S salad, and I use a lot of mixed greens, which has big giant spinach leaves in them. So I tear all of my stuff up, and I know that looks weird maybe, but I have a hard time like shoving those giant pieces of spinach leaf into my mouth and feeling like a lady. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I don't like to they're just too big. And I feel like, okay, I'm going to just feel better and more confident about eating in a healthy way. We're not just shoving food in my mouth if I break up the spinach a little bit. So that's why I do that. You guys might have seen me do that in some other recipes that I've put out here recently, and that is why. But anyways, this salad is just really easy. I went ahead and had some pre-cut veggies from my refrigerator that are just non-starchy vegetables. I love to use those little sweet bell peppers, and I just did some celery and cucumber in this salad. And I honestly never really thought I would like celery in salad, but I am coming to love it because of this dressing that I'm gonna use here in a few minutes. But the cheese portion, to keep it in a deep S, you're just gonna use Parmesan cheese. And really any kind. You can use the green can like I just showed you, or you can use like little bags of Parmesan cheese that you can get at the store also. And then you just do whatever seasoning, like salt and pepper to taste for me. And then you just shake up your dressing that you made. You can make it way ahead of time and keep it, and it'll separate a little bit as it sits in the cabinet, but you just shake it up. And then the actual recipe for this deep S salad says you could use 3 tablespoons of that dressing, but again, you guys, that's too much for me. So I just use 1, and I really believe that that's plenty for me, and I feel satisfied when I'm done. I'm not hungry, you know, super quickly and all that kind of stuff. And then I was grilling some chicken for my family that night. They were having some starchy veggies in a starch because that's what they like, and I just used the chicken portion for my salad there. So yeah, I just ended up making, oh, I said earlier that this was my lunch. I'm just kidding. This was actually my dinner. Sorry about that. But the fuel cycle went really well for the week. By the time I ended up finishing, I think I was 3 pounds down for the week doing a fuel cycle. I do have to say it's definitely not something I would do frequently because it's so restrictive, and I kind of felt miserable. But anyways, as far as like my emotions go, I didn't like the restriction. Restriction is no fun. But that's it for today, you guys. I hope you try this recipe, and if you like this video, give it a quick thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, go ahead and do that while you're down there.
I wanna put you in that spotlight, looking at you all night, all night. I'll sing until my lungs give out. You're beautiful.